I am a Pakistani spy. I reached Ahmednagar. Got classified information. Trying to steal a classified file from Camp Commandant office. If you have not watched old videos, then visit our channel and watch old videos of this series. Let's move towards story. I chose a DOS to access the Camp Commandant's office. Once decided, immediately got ready and left for the DOS office. After going through the security and checking stage, I reached this clerk king. The excuse for not meeting last night was that he was unwell. The DOS office is filled with non-military personnel, as local contractors frequently visit for tenders, supplies and cash receipts, and seek information from clerks regarding other tenders. No one could doubt me either. Since I was there for apparent tea sales, I felt no risk in meeting the concerned clerk during office hours and making contact. I went and sat next to him and started talking about things here and there. I was looking for an opportunity and soon I got it. When he took me to the canteen during the lunch break. There we sat at an isolated table. I told him I wanted to talk to you privately. I came here to sell my tea and never want to go back disappointed. He told me in the first meeting that work cannot be done without increasing contacts and making the officers happy. Tell me frankly who has to please here. He said that you must know that where there are many suppliers of the same item, then the satisfaction of the officers is only achieved. Here, apart from a DOS, and a DOS, the anchor in charge, and I immediately took a bite, given that the camp commandant also has to be pleased. He replied in the affirmative. I told him that I put all this on you to introduce me to the anchor in charge and the camp commandant. If I succeed in selling my tea here, then the credit will go to you, and you will also benefit greatly. It is said that they secretly put 2,000 rupees in his hand. He kept denying at first, but his denial was merely kept. When I pushed a little, he put those rupees in his pocket. I told him that this is a promise. You do my work, and I will make you happy forever. He asked me that according to you, the quality of your tea is very high, and the price is low. If you get an order to supply tea, you will have to please people every 3 months to maintain the supply. In this way, your profit will turn into loss. I laughed and said it was a trade secret, but I will tell you that I will gradually reduce my tea quality, and this loss will turn into a profit without realizing it. I told him that I am from a big business family, chopper family, and we have been taught not to think of immediate profit in everything. But if you have to take some loss in the beginning, then take it, because this loss will turn into big profit later. For I got him under such mental control that he kindly introduced me to Camp Commandant, who was then in charge of the anchorage and the camp, and led me to the anchorage. The anchor in charge was at that time reviewing the distribution of food to the troops, and was very busy. The clerk drew him up. He was awake, and looked very old. After introducing me, the clerk told him that his tea would come to you. It's your job to pass it. He is my friend and his work should be done. It will serve you. The in charge of the anchor examined me and said, if the goods are fine, then why should we make it unfit? Also, he asked the clerk to bring me to his quarters in the evening. He lived there along his family. I filled the support, and then we walked towards Camp Commandant's office. The Camp Commandant's office was attached to the quarter guard. The Camp Commandant was a full colonel, and at that time, he had gone on a lunch break. Almost all the clerks in his office accompanied me to the anchor and the Camp Commandant, and seeing the frankness of them, I realized that inside the ADU's office, the military soldiers are brought for training in camp only for 3 months. That's why their food, soap, and everything was provided free for soldiers. They change quality of goods and make huge profits with the help of contractors. Therefore, tenders with higher prices for their food should be accepted. They were very frank with each other. After observing everything, I came back with the DOS clerk. I had to go to the anchor in charge's house. From now and on, we'll call a DOS clerk by the name of Sham. Sham told me bring the appropriate amount to please Acre in charge. Next evening around 6 p.m., I went towards cantonment. Shyam met me at the place where he should be. Shyam was waiting for me. Both of us reached the house of Anchor in charge at 7 o'clock. The in charge lived in the family quarters. We reached there, we sat down. After a formal conversation and politeness, he himself turned to tea, and to show his importance, he said that if I do not pass the tea, the DOS people cannot do anything. Finally, I have to satisfy 1,200 people with food. A soldier spent 23 to 24 years to become Subedar and is nearing retirement. If any such Subedar is posted to such gold mine, there are very few who keep their hands clean. Subedar said in plain words that I will not only pass your tea, but I will also appreciate it. But wealth flows with both hands. I was just thinking of bringing Subedar to the right path. He himself made my problem easy. He said that more than 4,000 large cups of tea are made daily for the soldiers and Encos alone. This will give you an idea of how much of your tea we will use. In the second step of approval of tea, you will decide yourself the date from which your tea will start being used in the langar. I will take 5,000 rupees from you monthly. I agreed and gave him 2,000 rupees in advance, and after a while, we returned from his house. Shyam asked me to meet him at a bar at 8 in the night. How much time was left before 8 o'clock? I changed my mind for going hotel and reached the bar. With the way Shyam had seen me spending and wasting my money, he wanted to put me on a thick plate and keep me in his presence as soon as possible. I wanted to meet with the commandant's office so that my deal was not in his absence. At 8 o'clock in the night, he came with 2 other soldiers to bar and told me that they work in the commandant's office. We spent that evening in some gossip and small talk. I got a doubt that how Shyam was meeting everyone so quickly. Still, for my comfort, I did not push the matter of work further that evening and said that tomorrow we'll meet Shyam in the office of the commandant. While they were drinking, I was gazing at their faces with their heartfelt emotions. A person under the influence of alcohol brings out the innermost things on his tongue, and his face also reflects his heartfelt feelings. A soldier was often lost in deep thought. I realized that Shyam and other soldier are drinking and laughing. But the last soldier is in deep thinking. I approached the silent soldier and said, "What is the matter, man? Missing the wife? Why are you sitting silently like this?" He laughed and fell silent. I spoke to 2 or 3 things to him. I tried, but he did not speak his heart on his tongue, and his silence and deep thought did not make any difference. There were no toilets in the bar. I indicated my need by pointing my little finger. Shyam said that outside on the other side of the road. I held the hand of the soldier immersed in this thought and asked him to come with me. He went out with me. On the other side of the road I finished and said to him, "You are sitting like this. I also have a lot of problems, but for every problem, you have to live in such an environment where people are all sad, and if you can walk, go to the hotel with me on your way back from here. There comes a peaceful solution. If you want, I will talk to you about everything." He thought for a while and then said that they live with me, but they haven't realized my problem, and you realized it. I'm ready to go to the hotel. From the bar, showing the heart of a human being. I have heart on my return. I will arrive at the hotel in civilian clothes. You will also try to come soon after I come. And we came back to bar. I poured more wine into his glass to make him more drunk. After a while, he complained of a headache and excused himself to everyone and went out. The gathering at our table was high at that time. I was sure that, like me, Shyam and his partner did not take much notice of his departure. Around 11:30, we were asked to join the party. They were also immersed in the golden thoughts of the future. Here, I want to give a brief explanation. All India, except in remote villages of Bengal and Madras where the local language is spoken. I have not hardly added words of Sanskrit. The language spoken in the cities and armies of India is Urdu. Sanskrit is used only in political meetings. The vernacular of all India is the one used in Indian films and songs. These 30 and 40 can undoubtedly be said to know Hindi well. During the training, I memorized 60 Sanskrit words and put them in the correct place. More such words and their seeds are used well. I got out of bar and sat in rickshaw and moved to the hotel. That clerk whose name I had heard was Ashok Sinha was waiting for me in the lobby of the hotel. I took the keys and came to my room, opened it, and made a pact. I told him that if man does not work for man, so did the animal and the bird, say that I am completely alone. Have more income than you need. Residing in Bombay. I came here to increase business. Am Punjabi and do not believe in caste. I am a philanthropist. I couldn't stand seeing you upset and called you here. Now, clearly tell me which thing is bothering and biting you from inside. Whatever happened to me, I will do it for you. Drunk with alcohol, Ashok lost all restraint and started crying. I wanted him not to cry too much because crying in sorrow not only brings relief, but also satisfaction. I sat very close to Ashok and said that men don't cry and you are a man and a soldier too. So you should not cry, but you should try to solve your problem, and then I promise that I will help you in every possible way. When I consoled him, he said, "Sir, I know that my father passed away. I have 3 sisters and none of them got married just because my income is not enough to pay dowry. It has been 2 years since the eldest sister got engaged. But due to the lack of dowry, they could not get married. Now, the boy's parents have threatened to break the engagement. Mother has become confused in this grief. I tried everything I have seen, but the money has not been arranged from anywhere. I am willing to do whatever is difficult, but I cannot see my sister's complexion breaking." His sad story was the story of this percentage of families in the subcontinent. Millions of girls have passed the marriageable age due to lack of dowry. Boys don't even like to listen to their parents' compulsions and marry the boy by marrying him regularly. And the girls who have nothing to give, their daughters either grow old with fake ears, or those who are a bit modern, mindful, she runs away from home and ends up in a brothel. I asked Ashok how much money he needed. He said that if he gets 25,000 rupees for his elder sister's marriage, then he can marry his sister. I told him that even if he gets 25,000, he can be demoted only by the responsibility of one sister. The responsibility of the other 2 sisters will remain. I told him that I am ready to help you. I am also looking for a sincere friend, and maybe you will prove to be that friend. Don't worry though, I will fully support you in this compulsion of yours. I told him that we have formed a club in Bombay. Only unmarried men and women can become members. In this club, we make people of every class not only find suitable relationships for them, but also provide full financial support. At the time of marriage, I will settle a bond of 25,000, but I will also find suitable relationships for your other 2 sisters with the help of the club. I consoled him a lot, and then suddenly, as if I remembered something, told him that many soldiers are also members of our club. And among these members, as far as I remember, some soldiers and officers of tank regiments are also included. Then, stressing on the concern, he said that as far as I remember, a young man from a tank regiment who was our number, came here to get training, and his sister's marriage was also stopped because of this. He probably hailed from the Punjab region and became a member from the Delhi branch of our club. His sister's marriage was also done with the financial support of our club. According to the rules and regulations of the club, he had to return the money received from the club in very small installments. After paying 2 or 3 installments, he did not contact again. I smacked my forehead and said that his name and regiment had slipped from my mind. But I will immediately recognize his name as soon as it comes out and contact him and ask him to pay the installments. I told him that if the beneficiaries stop paying the installments, then how can the club established for this noble purpose continue to function? I will request. I told him about financing. Yes, I said again that if the list of name and order is in front, I will recognize it immediately. Ashok was seeing his problem solved, and he needed my pleasure for that. He said, "Sir, it is very kind of you that you has promised to support me in this difficult time. If this is the case, there can be a court-martial according to the law if caught. I will give you tomorrow night at the hotel at 11 and you will get it. But I still have the complete file with the clerk in my office. You will find what you are looking for. I will withdraw that conviction from you before the next office hour, and you will not mention it to anyone." After a while, I put 1,000 rupees in his pocket while leaving him. Acquiring this file was nothing less than a jackpot for me. And I had Ashok under my complete control. Other hand, I went to a DOS office and met a DOS. The lieutenant colonel called a DOS. I told him that I have been here for several days and my tea bags are still lying in your office. I'm kind of stuck here in the hotel away from my Bombay's exciting life. And I'm getting very bored. So please send my samples to the concerned people so that some decision can be taken soon. Thank you so much for watching our video. This is real story of Pakistani spy Abu Shuja Abu Wakr, the man who served in India as a spy agent in the cover of Open Tea Trader. If you have no subscribed, then subscribe our channel now and press the bell icon so you never miss any update of this story. If you liked the video, please give it a like, comment below to let us know your opinion. We will meet you again with another episode. Till then, have a good care of yourself.